Right, I was just watching this thing with Tom Cruise, and I just wanted to make a little video about it. His Mission Impossible film is coming out over the next, I think this weekend or the following weekend, something like that, right? And I was just watching him in this interview. It goes on for about 10, 15 minutes, and he's talking about everything to do with the stunts and everything to do with kind of like the way he put it across and all the rest of it, man. He's a real smart guy, dude. Really smart. And I just wanted to make a tiny video about it, and there's so many elements to him going on at the same time, which you can pick up on. One of them is that he has no, he doesn't, he talks to everyone and everyone kind of really likes him. And he's very kind of like big star and all the rest of it. But at the same time, he can bring himself down to a very level where he's just talking to everyone as if he talked to anyone in the street. And I can imagine him just talking to someone who sweeps the streets, right? And he's got a good humbleness about him, and kind of like people really, really, really like him. And he puts in such good effort and work with his movies and personal risk and all the rest of it. And he's just got a really good attitude, dude. He's got a really good attitude, and he's got a really good take on things, and he doesn't take things for granted. And kind of like the stunt that I'm talking about is the one in Dead Reckoning. If you look at it, he actually done it where he's driving up this ramp on a motorbike, and he comes off the motorbike and he kind of goes up into the air a bit and kind of like then comes down right onto this mountain. And he'd done the stunt for real, and they videoed it, recorded it with a helicopter, not drones, I think. But they had to do it loads and loads of times and do loads and loads of training with it. And he's a pilot, and he does all these kinds of things, so he's really into all that kind of stuff. But like, if anything though, he's like a real movie star though. If there was a definition of a movie star, it would be Tom Cruise, because the amount of effort that he puts into it, the amount of work that he puts into it, the amount of kind of like you can just see that his passion is involved in it, and he's doing it for the right reason, because he comes across to me anyway as someone who's really legit. Everyone's got issues, right? Doesn't matter about kind of, oh, look, but he done this and he done that. Everyone's got issues. You can't always be looking at people's faults and going like, well, he done this wrong, he done that wrong. This is all bullshit, dude. We're all got our little problems in this world, right? So it's not about kind of like, searching for the most perfect person. No one's perfect, okay? But you got to give credit where credit's due, and his films are fucking brilliant, and the guy works like a fucking trooper, dude. And you can see it in his movies. But the most impressive thing about him is his ability to just talk to anyone and everyone and on a level. And you can see that people really, really like him. He's a likable guy. He's always happy, positive, and kind of like and you can see that he's a real leader, and he's a really good movie star, dude. And they're doing them stunts when he doesn't have to, putting himself in danger like that. It's kind of like he's the biggest movie star who's kind of like Evel Knievel at the same time. Evel Knievel was a stunt man who took incredible risks, but Tom Cruise is kind of like, he's not supposed to be taking them kind of risks, right? But he's really like, he's a similarities between him and Evel Knievel. He has that spirit, right? But just watching the interview there, I've seen him on other times before, and been interested in him, not even as a movie star. Just watching him is interesting because of the qualities that he has. That he's a hard worker, that he's humble, that he talks to anyone and everyone, and that he kind of like doesn't look down on anyone. As far as I can tell, right? And the people that engage with him, it's in the interviews and stuff like that. It's a job for them, but at the same time, when they're talking to Tom Cruise, you can tell that they're really kind of like, they're enjoying being with him and talking with him, because he hasn't got this uppity kind of like, I'm a movie star kind of persona, so my hat's off to him, and I'm very impressed with Tom Cruise. And I'd say his Dead Reckoning film would be really, really good. I may even go and watch it in the cinema, because them films, like he said, are meant to be seen in the cinema, not on the small screen or on the phone or something like that, to get the proper experience of good movies like that. And the Mission Impossible films are good. And I think the best one for me was, the first one was probably the best, but I like the third one as well. It was really good with Philip Seymour Hoffman. I've never seen anyone play such a good bad guy before. The best bad guy ever. He was really, really good in it, And, so Dead Reckoning, I'm going to go and see that in the cinema because of Tom Cruise and the effort that he puts in. And his films have got none of this agenda bullshit to them, as far as I can tell, in loads of ways too, which is really, really good. And the amount of effort that he puts in with his stunt work, with his risks, and his hard work and all the rest of it, they should be seen in the cinema. So I'm going to make an effort to go and see it. Because of that, because of him. And yeah, so I just wanted to say that. Interesting guy. Without a doubt, an interesting guy. I think he's about 60 years old now. He looks about 45. Obviously takes care of himself. And he's someone to look at and give credit to. So I yield.